So yeah, early on in Street Fighter Five, I would say like beginning of season two. Like I remember the first time I heard of you was you went to FFM Rumble 10 in Frankfurt, and
Oh,
you
that's
actually played on stream one of my friends, the Wood 82, who yeah, we did we go back, and he was a Laura player, and you beat him, and then that actually started like making the rounds on the internet. Like I first saw it when it hit event hubs and was just it was impressive. Um, but like it from there it just kind of exploded and people started remembering your name. Like were you surprised by the attention that you received from that moment on? And then also, like, I know you went to Sonic Boom as well and did well on stream as well. Like I know that like it wasn't just FFM Rumble but like Sonic Boom as well. But like how did you feel about the attention that you received from it?
yeah. When you referring to that match, I started smiling because I know exactly which match that was. Just to confirm, we played on Air Force Base, right, in that match?
I think so, and he did play Laura.
Yeah, he did Laura, and the funny thing though was that back then they didn't add all those background sounds in Air Force Base yet. So I like to play on that stage until they changed it a bit. But that beside the question. So yeah, how it was. I was playing fighting games for many years already, but it was just casual at home, at school, with friends, with family, as long as they want to play with me because I was kicking their butts. Um, so when I first entered the tournament, then yeah, nobody knew about me. People were like, "Yeah, what is this guy coming to do here? He's blind. What is he thinking?" And when I was able to show what a blind person can do in fighting games, of course, it was very nice for me in person. I was really enjoying that attention and the credits I got. Absolutely. But at the same time, it was also important for me to show the game community or maybe the world, yeah, that if you have a disability, that you have still so much things you can do in life, things that you like to do. Um, yeah, I've tell this story many times already, but before I got blind, when I was 6 years old, I got blind by cancer. But before then, I was playing video games most of the time. As soon as I came out of school, I started playing video games. In the weekends when I did not go to school, I was usually playing video games. So video games and Sven, that was yeah, that was like how do you say that? The cream on the cake. It's something that was together. And when I got blind, I lost my capability of playing video games. But luckily, I didn't lose my hope and my passion for it. So when I figured out that Street Fighter 2 was actually playable up to a certain level, I slowly developed a way of playing more fighting games. And I absolutely didn't imagine back in 1993 when it all started for me as a blind fighting gamer. I could not imagine that many years later I would shine in a tournament and stream on the internet and that actually people are wanting me to play for them and that it is entertaining them and such. I mean, no, that is just another dream come true, so to say.
Yeah, and like yeah, after yeah, because I was one of them. Because like after you did well there, like I started watching some of your streams, like typically lurking, but like but like it's just, but I think one of the common threads, because like I've talked with you know Brawly Legs, you know,
Hmm.
rest in peace. Like I
Yeah.
remember when he came on the scene, like no one had seen anything like it, and I'm pretty sure when he first showed up, it was like, well, what's he gonna do here? But then he would just beat everybody, and like
Yeah.
he was always a threat at Evo, like and then like so like I had met Brawly, I knew his capabilities, like I've seen your capabilities, and then like last year is the first time I met Mr. Joe 94, who we'll talk to later. But like he like when I first met him, I saw him, but I already knew it was like if he's showing up, this is going he's going to come hard, and we actually had to play in bracket, and he was the toughest match I faced up to that point. So like, uh, but I think the common thread here, and there is a commonality, is like no matter who you are, these games are for you. So like being able to like show up and like show what you're capable of is always like an inspiration to anybody. Like whether you're physically disabled or completely physically able, it's like these games are for you. So like it's inspiring to get that right.
Yeah, and I mean, I always put everything in perspective. I mean, uh, I'm a good player, but I'm absolutely not a Capcom Cup winner. Broly Lex was an excellent player, but he also had his limits.
Hmm.
Joey, same for him. But considering our conditions, we try to make the best out of it. And if that means that you are able to get out of groups at Evo, or that you can win a local tournament like Joey did
Hmm.
a few months ago, or that you are able to um, have a 150 win streak during a game event like I have. Uh, uh, yeah, I mean that those are also um, results that counts, right? And as long as you enjoy what you are doing, you will increase your gameplay and your skills. And um, it's so nice that while I am challenging myself all the time, I'm currently having a challenge to bring all my Street Fighter 6 characters to master, and I'm up on 13 right now, and I'm currently trying to get my 14th character in master rank. It's gonna be Geef. um, that's my personal challenge at the moment, and it inspires other people to pick up the game and to start grinding to master as well. I mean, I get messages like, "Oh, I'm now platinum. Oh, I'm now diamond 1. I will never reach master, but I will do my best. I am now gold." And I'm like, "Keep going. One day, if you are focused on it, you will be there. As long as you think it's fun. Because if you play a game and you don't think it's fun, you should better stop."
Yes.
And that's so inspiring for me as well to keep going. I always say on stream, as long as people are uh, thinking it's cool to watch me playing, I will keep going unless I am not able to do it anymore for health reasons or financial reasons or stuff like that. But I think it's fun that it's inspiring me that I inspire people to play, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, because like yeah, it is it does feed into a cycle, and a lot of people like mentally, like a lot of people will talk about like feedback loops, right? and
Hmm.
and you, you have the choice between like getting into the negative feedback loop, or you have the choice of being in the positive feedback loop, and I think that kind of like trying to find the words, but like that kind of mentality of like and seeing people like having their like enthusiasm reinforced can create that positive feedback loop for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I don't like, for example, which happened in the past, and if I'm not sure, it also happened to that Laura player from FFM Rumble, that because he lost from me, um, that afterwards people started to, yeah, to talk shit to him, like, hey, if I were you, I would uninstall the game or stuff like that. I can, in return to that, I can say, hey guys, I also beat Problem X, I beat TKR, I beat other
Mm-hmm.
high ranked players, not in a tournament, but I beat them online. Do they also need to uninstall the game? I mean, Problem X, come on, guys. He is an Evo champion.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not nice. And I can imagine that if you lose from a guy that can't see the screen, that it is disappointing, and that it is maybe making you feel like, hey, what's going on? Am I that bad that I lose from a blind guy? But on the other hand, I am not a bad player myself. So yeah, just
Yeah.
just keep going on. I mean, I can win from everybody and I can lose from everybody, and the same goes to everybody else, right? So uh, even the best player in the world has an opponent somewhere that he struggles with.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if they are blind or not, or one-handed or not, or uh, in a wheelchair or deaf or whatever. Everybody is doing their best to win. And yeah, if you face an opponent that is better than you at that time, then so be it, and respect that. And also the people around respect that. I mean, those people that are blaming the Laura player for losing from me, I don't think those people are as brave themselves to go on stage in a tournament and fighting me, because yeah, for most people you're already 1-0 behind, I
Yeah.
mean, if you win, they say, ah, yeah, you beat a blind guy, and if you lose, you are saying, ah, you cannot beat a blind guy. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I have respect to those players, like I always forget his name, but the Laura player, or um the pancake player I beat at Evo, or the the Akuma player that I beat at uh, what was it, Sonic Boom.
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yes.
I mean, yeah, they took the challenge as a man, or if they were a woman,
Mm-hmm.
as a lady. So yeah,
Yeah.
be proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do know like the toxicity of like, social media and stuff. Like there will be those comments. I mean, thankfully, like with the bin hubs and back in the day, sure, you can like moderation was really heavy. So if like
Yeah,
it was toxic, it was gone. But like, um, yeah, but I'm at this point because like, you know, my biggest rival right now within our local scene is Joey. Like
good
we
luck.
always go back and forth on sets. Like,
Yeah.
and because like I beat him at the first tournament we played at. Then the next time he completely destroyed me. And then I beat him again a couple months, 2 months ago, and then this month I was I was up, and then he switched to Honda, and I knew shit was getting real. So, and he beat me. So I don't see, because like I don't see it as like anything else but losing to a good player or losing to
Yeah.
something I'm unaware of versus, oh, like it's someone with a disability. It doesn't matter. Like anyone can play these games, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, if somebody has a disability, in which way doesn't matter for most part. But if you have an opponent that has a disability, you are in an advantage
Hmm.
somehow. And I don't know what advantage it is versus Joey. Uh, but when people are fighting versus me, they're always trying to abuse the fact that I play on audio.
Mm-hmm.
They are searching for a way to, okay, what situation in a game is difficult for him to handle,
Mm-hmm.
and they're absolutely free to try out. I mean, if I didn't want that, I should not play the game at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, and I think that, yeah, cat and mouse game, as we say in Dutch, yeah, that is what makes it also nice to be able to, yeah, to join a community like Street Fighter or like fighting games. Because if it was not possible at all, then yeah, what other passion should I do then? I mean, I had no other passion than playing video games back then.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, and like I mean, like, yeah, there's like certain things that you'll try and like, but I think that that you'll try and like take advantage of. But I think that goes across the board. Like if some, like even with able-bodied people, like if they're sluggish on their anti-airs, just abuse jumping
Yeah, you jump
in.
on them, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if they don't
exactly.
enter, yeah, you jump. If you see that their reactions on drive impacts are slow, you drive impact them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And when I and yeah, and like when I play Joey is the same thing. Is I don't look at it as like, well, how am I abusing like, or like how am I like taking advantage of like his physical disabilities. It's more like
yeah,
I'm trying to like predicate on any tendencies I see, and the moment he switches, I'm toast. So I totally see that.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that was when we speak about Joey, um, Street Fighter 6, because I know Joey from Street Fighter 5, and
Hmm.
Joey is a much better Street Fighter 6 player than he was in 5. Um, and but that was also because Street Fighter 5, for example, Joey, due to his disability, had very much issues with doing what was it called, V reversal,
Oh
because
yeah.
he needed to press too many buttons that he could not map on a single button, because then he was not able to do other stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and since I knew that as a player, it was much easier to corner Joey and to keep him there, because he was not able to get out except from taking huge risks, right? Like doing a wake up super or something like that. In Street Fighter 6, though, uh, for me, it feels like that Joey has less input problems compared to he had in Street Fighter 5, which means that it is also more inspiring for him to try to get better, because he can 100% enjoy the game without any disadvantages so far, uh, compared to what he had in Street Fighter 5. So Joey is practicing a lot, is playing a lot, is improving a lot, and yeah, I don't know where his limit is. I mean, after all, we cannot all be Capcom Cup winners. So everybody has their limit, of course, in what
Hmm.
they can reach. But I think Joey still has a lot. Um, I mean, that he still has a lot of potential to grow, and yeah, that's nice to see that uh, people with disabilities are, yeah, also shining in games like Street Fighter.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I do think that he has a very high ceiling, and like I've seen it grow since we started our monthlies, and like
Yeah.
it's just incredible to watch his development, firsthand.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. So like now we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is called "Explain That Shit," where it's shit with an X. So we're gonna look at some of your social media posts on X, and
Hmm.
I'll still call it Twitter till the day I die.
Oh,
But
I do that too. Yeah, it's all I tweet on Twitter. I'm not
yes,
posting on X.
yeah. But like, so the first one we have is a post of you meeting JP for the first time at Evo. And it does look like a battle of the Canes in the pose. So like, yeah, I do remember Joey talking about this meeting, and you were able to like you know, touch the cosplayer and like finally get to like see what JP, so to speak, it looks like in, in actuality. How did that feel for you? Like, because like you did talk about like you were sighted before, and then like cancer took your sight, but like, so how does it feel as like a connection to the game to like be able to get that?
Yeah, sure. Now, first, it's maybe nice to tell you how that picture actually went. I was with my guide in Las Vegas at Evo, and we left the building. So we were walking on the street to our Uber taxi, and all of a sudden, my guide said, "Hey, there is a JP cosplayer passing by or walking by," and I was like 5 meters further. I was like, "Hey, maybe we should turn around and ask for a picture." And at that moment, that JP player also turned around and he was like, "Hey, was that Blind Warrior Sven? Maybe I should ask for a picture." And that was so fun. So that was how we actually came to do the cane fight picture, so to say. Um, sorry. So when it comes to characters and in my imagination, yeah, I've never seen Street Fighter characters in my life in with my eyes because I was already blind before I actually got to know Street Fighter 2.
Hmm.
Street Fighter, the first one, was really not uh yeah, a well-known game as far as I know. So Street Fighter 2 was released when I was blind. So I never saw any of the characters with my eyes. And since I'm blind, what happens is that every time when I meet a person or when I hear a voice or when I think about something that somebody explains, like a specific car driving by or something like that, I create an image in my head how I think something looks like. Um, that is because I was able to see 6 years long in my life, so I am able to paint colors, have imaginations about. I mean, if you say, "Oh, over there is a big tree," no, I can paint a big tree in my head.
Hmm.
So when it comes to people or characters that I've never seen, I create images of those depending on either their voice or what people said about them. So I did the same for Street Fighter characters. So my Ken or my Ryu or E Honda or name them are totally different than the guys that you that you see on your screen. And even if I uh, are- even if I'm able to feel characters, because for example for Ken, I have a figurine somewhere here. For Blanca and Gao, I had those wall papers that I could feel. I mean, there were relief wallpapers, so I could feel their uh, yeah their fighting stance back in Street Fighter 2. Um, but even then, it's so difficult for me to change my image of the character if I already created one. And for example, in real life, my girlfriend or my fiance, I've never seen her.
Hmm.
So the first time I met her, um, I created an image of her with blonde hair. Now she is everything but blonde.
Right.
Uh, but I cannot change that picture. So every time when I see her in my head, she's there with blonde hair, and and that is so weird with yeah how things are in my head with my imagination. So if somebody explains, "Ah, Ken looks like this and this and this," then it's nice to know, and it is nice to know how wrong my image is of Ken, but still, it's not changing the way I look to Ken, so to say.
Y- That's true. Yeah. Like I can only imagine because it's like yeah, like I have zero frame of reference. Like I've been cited, always been cited. So like I got opportunity to play Street Fighter in arcades and see everything. So like I've known everything growing up, but like yeah, so I can't imagine like having that ability, having it taken away, and then having to like use my imagination on things. So like it's interesting to hear that perspective and like uh, whether it changed or not because like I was curious for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. And um, the funny thing though is, for example, if we take Ken, they changed his voice in Street Fighter 6 to another voice actor. And that also made me change my view of Ken in Street Fighter 6 compared to the Ken in Street Fighter 5, which is also probably a reason that I don't like Street Fighter 6 Ken, because the image that I created was not appealing to me anymore, uh, so to say. So, yeah, voices and sound is very important for
Hmm.
me when it comes to uh, imagination and images that I create for myself.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and yeah, like the aesthetics on Ken changed dramatically, even like in Street Fighter Five, Street Fighter Six on the visual side. So it was stark when we saw the new Ken, and then
Yeah.
yeah, so like they did a massive amount of changes like
Oh,
aesthetically with Street
he's
Fighter
not
Six.
banana hair anymore or something like that.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly, and the crazy eyebrows are gone. So
yeah, but it happens also in real life. I mean, for example, a family member, um, yeah, these days with people that are searching for their gender, or yeah, if or that they want their gender, they want to change their gender someday. That family member, before, I got to know them as a she,
mhm.
with a female voice, and then years later they decided to, yeah, to change their gender, and they are now, um how do you call it when you are not male or female,
Oh, non-binary.
non-binary,
Yes.
yes. But they still used the medicines, the hormones, to get more uh manly, how do you say that, body part. So they,
Right.
they have a mustache and such
Mhm.
right now.
Yes.
But also their voice changed a
Yeah.
lot. And for me, it's so difficult to hold on to that picture that I created for this family member before, um, because of the voice that has changed. So I now have a totally different image of that person. They also changed their name, which was helpful as well for
Mhm.
me to stick on the new picture. But yeah, that is so strange, or yeah, maybe strange is not the right word, but so um important for me, voices and sounds, when it comes to my imagination and my
Mhm.
visualization of things.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, and I think that is a massive thing, and yeah, especially now, like you did talk about the LGBT component, like yeah, a lot of people because like people will can see it, but then like for me, like yeah, I came out as trans a couple years ago, and my
Hmm.
voice is still kind of like swinging back and forth, so like even on the phone, like I will talk to somebody, and it depends on whether it's like depends on the day whether I'll get hit with ma'am or sir, and it
Yeah,
yeah, it's a difference maker.
yeah, and at the same time, it can also completely, uh, how do you say that? No, confusing is not the right word, but trick you. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe you have that in English as well, but in Dutch we say sometimes, yeah, you have a beautiful face for the radio,
We
which
have that.
means that
We
you're
have
that
that.
you're actually looking very bad, in
Yes.
some way, but that you have a beautiful voice. Um, I remember I remember once, and I mean, I laugh about it. Actually, it's not fun and not nice. But uh, I know a person who once dated with somebody, but they only spoke with each other on the phone, and for some reason, and he really fell in love with her by her voice. So they decided to meet each other on a certain place. So he went there on his bicycle, and when he saw her, she didn't see him, but when he saw her, he was like, "Oh no, this is not what I wanted." So he went away, and of course
Oh
that is
no.
not no, of course that is absolutely not nice, and I feel so sorry for the girl, even if I was laughing a bit before, but that was just, yeah, how stupid it can be, how voices and uh images or appearances are so uh tricky sometimes.
Hmm.
And why I say this, because I am completely blind, so how somebody looks like should not matter to me, um, because for me, a voice is the first thing I hear from. So I mean, if I walk on the street, I don't see how people are look like, or I don't smell them. Yeah, exceptions here and there, but normally the voice is the first thing I get to know from a person, and that is what is uh yeah, that is my first impression.
Hmm.
um and but even then, I am also interested in how somebody looks like. For example, if I fell in love with a girl in the past, I always ask around, hey, that girl, what do you think of her? Do you think I am able to show up with her on a party and such? I mean, I know it's stupid as fuck, but even a blind person, yeah, is interested in if somebody looks good or not,
Hmm.
even if you can't see it yourself. And I think the same goes for video game characters.
Hmm.
I know I play Birdie in Street Fighter 5, but that was more because he was fun. But I don't think you pick Birdie because he looks pretty, right?
Oh god, no.
No. So, um, but at the same time, I also like to play characters that look good, that look strong, that
Hmm.
look handsome, that look flashy or stuff like that, even if I can't see them myself. But it's
Hmm.
just the imagination that you play a cool looking dude or a pretty lady.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of pretty ladies, yeah, there's a YouTube video that was posted on your channels of you playing Mai
Yeah,
and dubbing yourself the strongest Shiranui. So what do you think of like of this? Because like it's really interesting, like the crossovers being so strong, like Terry being strong, Mai being strong. How do you feel about her as far as the game goes?
I am always a bit suspicious about DLCs in general. Not only if they're crossovers, but I'm a bit suspicious that every DLC that Capcom release needs to be somehow stronger than the previous one, or at least as strong, because they want to sell them, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, nobody is gonna buy a character that is uh, dump or shit. Or so in that way, I'm always suspicious. Like, okay, what kind of trick are they gonna give this new character to make it stand out over the rest of the cast, so to say? Um, but that is just my suspicious. I mean, maybe it's not true, but I have that feeling. And when it comes to Terry and Mai, yeah, I have never been a fan of cross-playing characters. I mean, for example, in Mortal Kombat, I really don't like it that RoboCop and Terminator and the
Mm-hmm.
Joker and those guys are in the universe of Mortal Kombat. I mean, they simply don't exist there, right?
Right.
Uh, I mean, imagine that we have Pikachu in Street Fighter. I mean,
Oh Lord.
maybe maybe fun, just like, yeah, no, maybe not fun at all. because that character simply doesn't belong in that world. Um, and yeah, I of course I played Mai, and she sounds great. I mean, I think she has an attractive voice.
Hey everyone! Get ready to feast your eyes on the strongest Shiranui fighter around!
Oh man. Yep. I am in. Now, many people say that she also looks interesting, um, but I was not very hyped when I heard, "Hey, Mai is coming to Street Fighter from the Fatal Fury series," or Terry. I mean, I know Terry Bogard from My Fatal Fury gameplay back in the 90s. He
Mhm.
was one of those three characters that you could play on the first Fatal Fury. But I was like, "Oh, come on, Capcom! Can you not just come up with a character you created yourself, or maybe one of the old characters from older Street Fighters, than hiring characters from other brands, so to say."
Mhm. Yeah, I kind of swing on the opposite end of that because like I kind of understand I from the perspective of like maybe they're testing the market between putting Mai and Terry into Street Fighter 6 and then allowing Ken and Chun Li to be in Fatal Fury
Yeah.
to perhaps test the market for a Capcom versus SNK 3. But yeah, I did and I was always like hype on Mai as well. So like,
Hmm.
and then because I played KOF 98 and I was really strong in that. And then when her trailer released with basically everything that she had in KOF 98, I was excited. So like, but um, I am overwhelmed by how strong the SNK characters have been and continue to be, to the point that I'm not sure where they could nerf them to make them be on par with the Street Fighter characters.
Yeah, that is always a debate or discussion, because you are now mentioning Mai or Terry, but for example, Guile is also a character. Like, okay, he is very strong in good hands. I mean, the way that he can shoot booms and do flash kicks almost instantly when you jump over them, it's crazy. Where's his recovery time? But if you nerf him, you completely break the characters. Some characters are really like, okay, they are how they are, which is very strong. And if you change a small thing, you completely destroy the character.
Hmm.
And that is, yeah,
It's a
that is
fine
that.
line.
Sorry.
It's a fine line.
Yeah, it's. I mean, of course, Mai is very strong because she has that fan gameplay, that you can drive rush after, and you can simply only block it and guess if she's gonna throw, overhead, crouch, or jump.
Hmm.
So you have multiple options that you need to watch out for. But let's say that you take away the fence, or that you nerf those in a certain way, then Mai is yeah, she is crippled then.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
the same for Terry, perhaps, with his move set. If you reduce a few of them, or yeah, then it's probably also uh not the same character anymore.
Hmm.
And in that way, I think it's very interesting to see a character like Geef in Street Fighter 6. In all other Street Fighters, Geef is a slow character. You really need to have patience, to focus on what your opponent is doing, slowly drive them to the corner, and if they are getting close, grab them.
Hmm.
Street Fighter 6 Geef is like playing Ken without a fireball. He's drive rushing. He's knocking you to the corner, all the time in your face, and if you guess wrong, it's three strike out, so to say.
Yes.
And with Akuma, two strike out.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, that is, yeah, that is, how do you say that, a different Geef. But if you want to balance him, let's say that you would say, okay, we lower his damage of pile driver, or we remove his uh, let's say his forward heavy punch on block options,
Hmm.
then it's no fun to play Geef anymore in this game, right?
Yeah,
Because that is his gameplay.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree on that.
So it's always difficult to yeah, to balance characters, and sometimes, especially in Street Fighter 5, for example, if we take Ryu, he got buff after buff after buff after buff, and then I'm like, okay, does this character really need those buffs compared to the others, or is it because, yeah, this is just a suggestion. Ryu is a Japanese character. Uh, Certain Japanese high players are playing Ryu, and Capcom want them to shine. Maybe that's why they buff. I mean, maybe it's completely bullshit, but you start thinking stuff like that if you see that a character like Ryu, who was already strong, got buffed every time, and then another character like a Rashid
Hmm.
in Street Fighter 5, who was strong as well, got nerfed very hard at some point.
Yeah, and then you had like season 1, like the hard nerfs on Nash with
Yeah,
because like infiltration winning Evo 2016, and
yeah.
heavy nerf when
When Rashid won,
arguably he was mid tier at that point.
yeah,
Or but then like later on you would have like Cammy and Karin get nerfed as well, so there was like a lot but you'd see a lot of like you said, like Ryu giving heavy buffs throughout the series, and like yeah, you saw a lot more of the Japanese characters getting heavier buffs than others.
yeah. And I mean, maybe it's completely bullshit that I say it is because they are Japanese, or,
Hmm.
but you don't. So sometimes, I mean, if you cannot find a logical reason why a certain character get buffed and another not, or get nerfed, yeah, then you get those thoughts at
Hmm.
some point.
Yes.
At the same that I said about the DLCs, that they are so strong every new DLC. Yeah, after all, they want you to buy the DLC, right?
Exactly.
And nobody is buying a DLC if it is a stupid character.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I mean, like with Street Fighter 5, like early on after his release, like G was like the one of the most oppressive characters in the game.
Yeah, yeah. G was a nightmare,
Yeah.
especially when he had that V skill one activated.
Hmm.
Um, but okay, but then after G, we got characters like Gil and Oro, which also, I mean, I thought Oro was very nasty because he could have multiple projectiles
Hmm.
on the field.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter, the rule of thumb was always like you can throw a new projectile as soon as the old one disappears from
Hmm.
screen, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but Oro, he could throw that rock, and at the same time, while the rock was bouncing towards you, he could throw his regular fireball.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah,
It's
what kind of Mario Party character is this?
yeah. Well, yeah, and then you had like late in the game, like the like when I stopped playing Street Fighter 5, the characters that were causing the most havoc were like Gil and Seth.
Yeah,
And then later on, it was Luke that was causing the most havoc.
yeah. I never liked Luke. I don't know why. If it is his voice, or it is his attitude, or it's his gameplay. I think altogether makes me nah. I've never been a Luke fan.
Yeah, it's like aesthetically for me, like I think Luke is the least appealing character. Like he has a great kit. I'm not gonna say that his kit is bad. It's just aesthetically, it's really hard to be into Luke. Like I think for me, like I don't know if I'm sure there has to be at least a few people that is like, oh, I like the way he looks, I like the way he feels, I like everything about his aesthetics. But I feel like a lot of people pick Luke because the toolkit is just
I think so.
jack of all
Yes.
trades.
Yeah. I mean, as Joey pointed out once during my stream, that character plays itself.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, you don't need to be very good to get to be strong with Luke, so to say.
Yeah. I think a couple of his combos are a little more precise, but like, yeah, you're like you said, it's like a very simple designed character.